Hi, it's Layla, the social content producer at Pulse magazine, and welcome to our latest video. It's part of a series which has just been released on pulsetoday.co.uk, which is all about starting out as a locum. Our first video was more about the traits that GPs have and how that affects how much they charge, whereas this video is more about working environment. Some surgeries are harder to work in, and it's important for you to be able to decide whether that's a challenge that you want to take on or whether you'd rather opt out. So, working with the National Association of Sessional GPs, we've come up with this video of 5 tips. So the fifth thing on our list is single-handed practices. Are you going to be the only doctor in the practice? For experienced GPs, it really shouldn't be a problem, but you have to consider whether it's worth taking on that additional stress. And additionally, if you should decide to, you're entitled to charge a little bit more, because it can be easier to work in a practice when you have people around to support you. So the fourth thing on our list is practice staff support, and you really have to consider when you're deciding whether to take on a role or not, will there be practice nurses working alongside you? What kind of support are you going to have? Because if you're taking on a role that does have less support, you are entitled to charge a little bit more for that. So the third thing on our list is triaged patients, because when you think about it, if all of the simpler cases have already been siphoned off, it means that really only the complex cases remain. If the practice acknowledges that you'll need 20 to 30 minutes to deal with patients if they've been triaged, then that's absolutely fine. But the reality is that some of them don't and will still expect you to deal with complex cases in 10 minutes. And if you are expected to try and deal with complex cases in a 10-minute appointment slot, you're entitled to charge a little bit more for that, because it will be more stressful, the patients will be less happy, and it really just means that you're going to end up running over. The second thing on our list is practice information packs. You could spend 45 minutes on your first day at a new practice running around and trying to work out exactly the right procedure for doing blood tests, or you could look it up in the practice's standardised online information portal, or SPIP. When you're negotiating fees, make sure to ask for access to the SPIP. It's useful not just for the information inside, but because when a practice doesn't have one, it's often a sign that things could be disorganised. Working in practices with poor organisational skills isn't just stressful, it just means that everything takes much longer, and so you would be entitled to charge more for working at one. Only a small number of practices even have a locum pack, which tend to be hard to navigate and always out of date according to NAS GP's Richard Fieldhouse. So, good news, SPIPs are on the rise. So the number one thing on our list of working environment concerns is the chaotic practice. When a practice looks after their locums, when you walk in and they give you a cup of tea and your practice information pack and everything runs absolutely smoothly, then you know that it's probably going to be a fulfilling place to work. But not all practices are like that. If the working environment is risky or stressful, you're essentially putting yourself through enforced underperformance. And really, the most important thing to do in this case would be to feed back to the practice and let them know the ways in which they could improve. Now, of course, you could get this information through your local locums group or chambers, and you would develop an instinct for it if you've been working as a locum for quite some time, but this video is designed for people who are just starting out. I really hope that it's been useful, and please don't hesitate to comment below and let us know if you have any tips or suggestions for people who are starting out as locums. Don't forget to watch our first video to have a look at how different traits can affect your rates. You can get all the rest of the information on our website at pulsetoday.co.uk/locum-guide. Thanks for watching.